Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early February 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for Scorpio gang. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide spirit team, talk to me. What do you got for us? What do you got for Scorpio in early February? As you can see, we're in the season spirit over here. Very floral background. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think. But let's see what energies, messages, insights we can take a peek at. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, and we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. Let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got. What does the universe have for us? What's the vibe? What do you got for Scorpio gang here in early February, please? And thank you. There it is. Thank you. Ooh, okay. I like that. I could vibe with this, and I'm sure you can too. It's the femme fatale. It has been quite a while since she showed up for one of our Scorpio readings, right? And there's just something alluring about this card. There's something very attractive about it, but there is a little danger if you look at the symbolism within that card. So I always like when she shows up. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk a little more about this femme fatale. So we see this lady, she's dressed in red. She has the red rose. It's like the little red bird. We also have the Venus flytraps chilling right there. So there's a lot of intense symbolism in this card. Now, first and foremost, I will say this card reminds me of the Queen of Wands partially, because it's confident, it's alluring, it's sexy. There's just something about it that draws you in. So for a lot of Scorpios in this time, we might be very tempted, or we might be very attracted to something, or this could be how someone's feeling towards us. It all really depends on the situation, right? But the big thing with this card is like, okay, it looks good. There's something that looks really fantastic about this, but there's a little danger lying underneath the surface. Notice that roses have thorns, so it's beautiful to look at, but it can make you bleed. These fly traps, they secrete a sweet smell, but they trap things that come in towards it. So this could be a little bit of a warning from spirit for us, honestly, saying like, all right, well, that might look good, but you might want to take your time, or there could be something you want to be a little bit cautious about. But I do love this femme fatale energy. I really feel like it's nice, and that's why I gave her that nickname. Right, because she's beautiful and alluring, but there's a little danger to her. There's a little edge to her, and if any sign could appreciate that, you know it's Scorpio. But we're just going to leave her over there for now. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say the first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. Shuffle it up one time here for Scorpio gang. What do we got, my guides? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled A Big Ending, and it didn't necessarily feel, you know, like Ten of Swords-y. It didn't feel like super painful to me. It did feel like, all right, there's a chapter closing, but I'm okay with it. It was this bizarre energy that showed up. So for a lot of Scorpios, you might be in that time of transformation or metamorphosis. Doors are closing, doors are opening. It seemed like a lot of things were in flux. But we're going to see what energy shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you. Because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Just watch out for the temptation. I have to mention it again. I usually never go back to that card. But let's get your 3 tarot cards out. Just watch out if something's tempting you. Okay, whether it's a behavior, whether it's a person, it's like, I want to slow your roll there. Okay, Hanged Man. So as I say, you might want to slow your roll. We have the Hanged Man show up. And I do feel like that's one of our cards in my simplistic style. But what's he doing? He's chilling. He's not making a move. He's just keeping an eye on something. He's watching. Let's get a couple more. What do we have here for Scorpio, please? What do we got? Thank you. Whoa. Okay, that's extreme. So we go from the Hanged Man to Judgment, complete opposite ends of the spectrum as far as energies go. Because it goes from like very, very quiet to not quiet at all. It goes from nothing to everything. Let's get one more card out here for Scorpio. Thank you. And we got our good friend, the beautiful High Priestess, chilling right here. So Scorpio, we got some powerful energy this week. We have all major arcana showing up in our reading. So this should definitely be a good one. Get ready for it. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, I do feel, even though there's some energies that we might want to watch out for, there could be some warnings here. I still feel like it's comfortable and it's adaptable to us, because there's two cards that I personally give to Scorpio and water signs. Elementally, we have the Hanged Man, High Priestess. These are both water cards to me. Okay, now the Hanged Man, that could link to, some people give it to Pisces, some people give it to Virgo. I also give it to Scorpio. Same could be said with her. She's a Pisces card, but I give her to all water signs. So these are elements we're cool with. It's just this Judgment in the center that's like jumbling all the energy up, because that is just exploding through. It is Plutonian, which is one of the ruling planets of Scorpio. So it's like every single one of these cards have a link to us. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build it out, because we do have a mixture of energy, and it's like our effect is on each one of these cards a little bit. Position number one, we're starting with the Hanged Man. This card is very similar to the Hermit, and I already told you zodiacally, Virgo, Pisces, Scorpio, those are the ones I give it to, because I see their energy within it. And this is a retracted, pulled back type of energy. You see the Hanged Man, he's just chilling there. He's not making any physical action. He's just sitting there, he's watching, he's analyzing. So this could be Spirit telling you, like, all right, Scorpio, you either need to pay real close attention to something, look further at the details, or there might be something that needs your attention. This could also be planning. This could also be either you making plans or strategizing, or somebody might have you under their microscope. So whether you're watching someone, someone's watching you. I mean, I did talk about this femme fatale in the beginning. It's like, oh, I'm locked in, I'm watching that. So we'll have to explore this further. Now, where this comes to its challenge, it could be very self-sacrificial, where it could sometimes represent us giving more to things than other people, where it's imbalanced, sacrificing our happiness for the happiness of others. That could be a big thing with the Hanged Man. It could also represent delays. This energy is at a stop, it's at a standstill. So we definitely want to look at it further. Now, moving to the center, the complete and total opposite, we have Judgment chilling right here. So the extreme shift of energy here, it's like really almost overwhelming to me, to be honest. You see Archangel Gabriel blowing the trumpet, where this energy is like, no, stop, not yet, not yet, not yet. Boom. It's like everything all at once. It's a lot of things that happen really suddenly. This does connect to Pluto, which does represent evolution and change. When Judgment shows up, could be making literal judgment calls, making a decision, big action card, where it's just super intense, it's explosive. So when we go from 0 to 100, that's a very jarring switch in energy. So there could be various situations where the vibe completely does a switch on you. Now, hopefully it's for the better. We're gonna have to clarify and see what's up, but I do feel just because of this jump of energy, this is already a bit of a warning to me, that it goes from like crickets, nothing, to everything all at once. It's like, whoa. Like, where did that happen? How did that? I mean, again, Scorpio could vibe with it. You could work with it if necessary. Sometimes Judgment can also represent things returning, right? Making a judgment call to allow something to return, or touch base with it again. This could also represent stopping something as well. Now, moving to the back end, we have the High Priestess, the matron of psychics, intuitives, tarot readers. Like I said, classically, she connects to Pisces. I give her to all water signs. She's highly intuitive. So for a lot of Scorpios in this time, your intuition, your gut could be trying to lead you to a conclusion or a decision. Your gut could be telling you something, and I would probably follow your gut whenever she shows up in a reading. You could be extra sensitive to energetic stimulus around you. So whether it's coming from other people, whether it's coming from the world around you, it's like I'm really sensitive to subtle energy whenever she's in the mix. Okay, aside from intuition and all the spiritual ties, she is a very mysterious card. She's secretive. She's not really speaking. She's not really talking. Notice she is holding a volume of sacred law, but she ain't speaking about it. She's not giving her secret. She's not giving the information. So this can be the unexpected, the unknown. There's a lot of secrecy with this card. So we definitely want to look into all this further. So, and the fact that they are all major arcana, which means they're very powerful. So it's like we go from nothing to everything, and now we have this intuition and this mystery. So I'm not sure if you feel something in the air, or if you feel like something's about to pop off. I want to dive deeper on all of it, though. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay. Let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for Scorpio gang, please? What do you got for us? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. What's going on, the Hanged Man? Why is Mr. Hanged Man here, please? Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Scorpio Gang, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's see what's... Really want to get to her, like the mystery on the back end, but why is the Hanged Man in the mix? Oh, okay. Very first one, the card came... Seven of Swords in the upright. Okay, this could most definitely be a warning from Spirit. Okay, now I saw this a few weeks ago, where I was getting an energy that some Scorpios might be in detective mode, or there could be something that piques your interest where it's like, I need to look into this further. So there could be various situations, whether it's with people, whether it's with work, it could be anything really where the vibe feels off, or just something feels like, all right, now there's more to this. There is more to this, and I am gonna find it out. This can also be a very strong cautionary type of energy. Remember what we had in the beginning. Okay, like the tempting, the alluring type of energy. The Seven of Swords, classically, is one of the more difficult cards in the whole entire deck. We see this individual wearing the fez, right? He's stealing all those damn swords. This could represent liars. It could represent thieves. It could represent sneaks and people that we shouldn't trust. So when I see the Hanged Man with the Seven of Swords, it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. There's something you're not seeing. There's something you need to look at closer. Okay, and with her on the back end, your intuition could definitely lead you in the right direction. Now, I'm not trying to be a fearmonger or anything like that. I would say best case scenario with this card, it doesn't mean this is a terrible individual or someone's doing the worst. It just means that there is something you're not seeing. Okay, or there's just something that hasn't surfaced yet when this card shows up. So I want to see how the rest of this plays out, because like I said, we go from nothing, a lot of watching, a lot of analyzing. Let's see where the action and intuition goes. But this has been a theme since the beginning. It's like, all right, well, something might be alluring, but it might be a little dangerous. Okay, so we're just going to leave it at that. Let's keep moving. That's a very powerful warning already. So let's see what Judgment has for us. Why is Judgment here for Scorpio Gang, please? Thank you. You know, this is not the best alignment. I'm going to be very honest with you. And this could be Spirit telling you to not delay something as well. Just the energy sparks off here in like a really, it's like it goes from 0 to 100. So I just have to say, for a lot of Scorpios, this is Spirit giving like a warning about explosive, volatile energies. And again, this could really show face in a lot of different areas. Now, for some of us, that might be a good thing. If we're dealing with situations that are like locked down and dragging and they're planted, maybe we want this, right? Maybe we want the energy to shift. Maybe we want it to change. But for some of us, this is most definitely not a comfortable energy to be in. The star in reverse could be pessimistic sometimes. Okay, but the way I'm receiving it right now, we are in Aquarius season. This is the Aquarius card. When I see Judgment, that explosive energy, that movement-based energy, that action, with the star in reverse, it tells me it's something that could be coming soon, sooner rather than later, right? Because the star in the upright represents a long stretch of time. This is something way down the road. So when I see it in reverse, it's like, no, soon, soon. So I would just say in this time, be very cautious with the people around you, with situations, especially if your gut's trying to tell you something. I would listen to it. That's just what I'm seeing. Listen, us Scorpios were gifted with that intuition for a reason, right? Let's keep moving. But I do feel like this is an explosive warning for sure, that things can intensify real quick. And again, for some of you, that's good. For some of you, maybe not so much. So it is like an explosive warning here. Let's keep moving over to the High Priestess. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadows. It's just things intensifying. But as I mentioned, for some of you, that's a good thing, right? Maybe you want to see all this action, this growth, this movement. But for another portion of you, it could be a little uncomfortable. So let's go in to the High Priestess. Why is she here? It's like the energy turns on a dime. It's completely different. And that's something that I know Scorpios generally don't vibe well with, especially when it comes to people, when people switch up, change up. I saw something like that in the Taurus reading this week, that there could be certain people that are acting a little funny, acting a little different. And I'm kind of getting similar undertones here. So if you're noticing a different vibe from someone, just listen to your gut. Now, on the back end, we do have the Chariot in reverse. Okay. And I'm not saying what happens here in the center is the sky falling. You know, when Chariot shows up in reverse, it's like, yeah, no, this is an energy. It's stopped, it's calm, it's cool. This energy comes in a burst. That's how it feels to me. It's like nothing, quiet, a lot all at once, then back to quiet. And you're like, what the hell was that? What the hell just happened? Like, that's how this feels to me. So I would, because when we have the high priestess with chariot in reverse, it's like complete and total stoppage. And you're like, okay, what the heck was going on there? So I could most definitely say there's like surprising or unexpected situations that could pop up in this time, right? Like with what we saw here, it's like something comes out of nowhere, then it stops just as fast as it starts. It's like, what the heck was that? That's like the best way I could describe this. Now, the chariot is the fastest moving card in the whole entire deck, even faster than Judgment, even faster than Tower. It represents the Cancer collective. In the upright, it could represent travel and moving around. It showed up in reverse for us. So it's like stop, screeching halt underneath the high priestess. So yeah, that could be a sudden stop. But like I said, to me, I feel like it just ties in more to the situation where it's like something I'm not seeing, then everything all at once, then right back to quiet. So it's like silence, everything, silence again. It's the weirdest thing. Okay, so I mean, you just take this for what it's worth. I would just keep your head on a swivel in this time because things could really ramp up in intensity and then quiet back down, like out of nowhere, like it never happened. It's so weird. Okay, but again, for some of you, if it's not a surprising or unexpected situation, it's something coming to a halt out of nowhere like that. So it stops just as quick as it flares up. So we're doing a stop, go, stop. Let's go through and do a quick recap here, Scorpio. I mean, these energies are bizarre. I know I'm going to have my head on a swivel this week, but it seems like a lot happens and a lot doesn't happen too. But position number one, we do have the Hanged Man with the Seven of Swords. So there could either be a situation or something you really need to keep a close eye on, or there's just something you might not be seeing, like the last piece of the puzzle hasn't been shown just yet. Be cautious of the people around you and the situations you're dealing with, which I mean, I know I don't have to tell you guys that. That's built into us. Moving into the center, we have Judgment with the Star in reverse. Something happens sudden, something happens quick, everything all at once. So it's just very explosive energy. So I do feel like this is a bit of a warning where it's like the energy flips. Now, I would say definitely be wary if someone you're connected to or a person you're around where their energy does a complete 180. That's something to be very cautious about. But if we're just talking about a situation in general, it like stops just as quick as it starts, or it flares up and then it's back to quiet, because on the back end we have the high priestess with the chariot in reverse. So whether that's something stopping suddenly, or whether that is a situation that just pops up out of nowhere and it comes and goes super quick, that's just how the energy plays for me this week. So it's like nothing, everything, back to quiet. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, I mean, usually the Scorpio readings are always multi-layered, multifaceted, but this one is feeling different for some reason. So maybe this is some person you're around, maybe this is their chaotic energy, who knows. But let's see what's up. What do we have in the shadows? And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. Put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for my channel members. Okay, let's get your card out here. What do we got in the shadows for Scorpio gang, please? My God, what do we got? Quick. Okay, we have the Three of Cups, which is usually a pretty good card. I always say this is usually merriment, happiness, joyousness. Now, I will say this, the Three of Cups can point to the circle of our acquaintances, people that we're connected to. So this could be another little signal similar to like what we've been seeing since the beginning. Just watch your circle of people, keep a close eye when this card is in the mix. Usually it's a very happy-go-lucky type of card. So for some Scorpios, maybe you need to break your routine, have a little bit of fun. That could be a very simple message from Spirit. The big warnings with the Three of Cups are, one, messy group situations that you want to watch out for, especially if it ties into the type of energy we were seeing within the spread itself. But this can also represent overconsumption or overdoing it or overindulging in one way or another. So beware of anything like that, especially if you've been holding back or refraining from something, whether that's a behavior, person, habit, you name it. Because remember this from the beginning, this card could be someone caving to that temptation and overdoing it. So we're just going to leave it at that, Scorpio. I mean, that was definitely a reading this week, but that's what I got for you. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the February subscriber surprise If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out the availability and my digital calendar on my website, mastermetaphysics.com, so we could get a little forecast for the next few weeks for you. But for the February subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Tarot of the Owls. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, if you could snap your fingers right now and wish for something, what would it be? It could be anything except more wishes. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll talk to you soon.